How we're responding. Be careful what you actually say. Um, so uh, the I'm passing time because I just want a few more people to come in, and I don't want to start and then restart again. But the last great experience here, it was a wonderful detox for everybody involved. We learned a lot from everybody, and everybody participating in WhatsApp learned a lot from each other. So it is worth when Noel sends out the link tomorrow to join the WhatsApp group. And just to keep an eye on it, because you pick up from the WhatsApp in the cooking or in these or in, you know, in how to cope with um, certain discomforts that might come along.
Yeah, your sound, Dr. Brandon, isn't that great.
Is it not? Is it okay? I'll go and get a microphone. Hope that's better. You take.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Noel is adding to WhatsApp group. I think most of you probably got the link in the email, so you just click on the link and then you're added to the group. So you are familiar, all the people from the last year are familiar how that works. And if you won't like to put the message in the group, but you can always message me or Dr. Brandon privately or email us. And so that's the group is there to support any kind of question or anything. But there's a great learning in the group. A lot of people share their experiences and stuff like that. So we'll have good crack, as Irish say. So that's the purpose of the group is. So Dr. Brandon is going to explain again, I think, about the tablets and all, but I hope you have read your notes and it's all clear to you which one to take, when and how many and all of that. Uh, Jane Percy is saying you don't know how to add yourself. You can. Noel has sent an email link, and by clicking that to the link, I think it diverts you to the group and add you to the group, something like that. I don't know how it works, but he has sent a link to everybody, and if you get to click to the link, then you're added. Otherwise, you send an email with your phone number to the admin because you are not the admin, so you can't add. So Noel has to add you. I can't add either. Anybody have to request him because he's the host on the WhatsApp. Oh, Dolly, you didn't receive the link. You better email Noel at ayurveda.ie, and he will. I need to check if the WhatsApp group is
Yeah.
created because I saw I was added.
What Noel emailed me was that if people ask about the WhatsApp group,
Mm-hmm.
I will send the link for this on Thursday, and
Okay.
then they can join. So tomorrow he'll send you the link, and you'll be able
Okay.
to join.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
that's why people are
Fine.
saying,
So I think only three of us are on the group. I actually didn't see it. Okay. So probably then the link is not gone out yet. So don't worry. You will receive the link.
um, there's a question: is the detox the same as the very first one? It's quite similar, but there's a bit of refinement in the herbal preparations we're using. But you'll notice the recipes and the strategy remains the same because it was quite successful. Is my sound any better?
It's better now. It's not echo anymore. It's clear.
Ah, brilliant. Thanks be to God.
Thanks.
Um, and so, okay. So, yes, will I go ahead, Raj, and just talk about it?
Yes, yes, please do. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you all on being so in tune with life and with nature and with your own nature as to recognize the importance and the value of what you're about to do with this detox. This strategy is in your genes. This strategy has come down through generations. It was formalized in different cultures in different manners, but we called it Lent. So, Lent was a period coming up to Christmas when people had one meal and 2 collations. And that wasn't very much, to be honest with you. The 2 collations were very little food, morning and evening. And so they were fasting, but it wasn't just, when you think about it, that they were eating lightly, which was a good thing. They were also in a contemplative mode. It was, tied to the whole concept of renewal and Easter and a spiritual awakening. And and so it was a time not merely of fasting, but of also of a time of reassessment, of letting go of the rubbish in your life, not just the physical toxins through a fast, but the mental toxins and, the unnecessary, often pressures we put on ourselves, and the delusions we suffer under. So a time when we just, at springtime, in preparation for new growth, new emergence, new life, we were letting go of that which blocked in thoughts and feelings and materially through a fast. So, in the same vein, when you're doing this week, 10 days, do take your life easy, do be a little bit more on the inner stroke, getting um, quite a lot of rest. And meditation is so significant and useful, particularly doing this detox. So do your meditations and, just reevaluate in some way and let go of any rubbish that you can let go of. Um, and that would be part of the process if you would. But it'd also be a great assistance to the processes of detoxing, where you're conserving energies for that purpose rather than racing around the place under stress and worries and doubts, and using an awful lot of brain energy, which takes an awful lot of energy altogether. So, I mean, conserving so that you can devote more energy to the processes of detox by taking life easier and resting up. But also remember, a fast would tend to increase vata. If you eat lightly, lightness lightness is a vata of quality. So eating lightly could tend to increase your vata, and therefore the extra rest at that time, then that extra rest keeps your vata better balanced. But moving on to think of what we're asking in terms of eating lightly, we just review that the whole digestive system in Ayurveda is called Agni, which refers to not merely the digestion and absorption of food in the gut, but the subsequent happenings to that ingested nourishment as it goes to the liver, where there are 5 agnis or fires or transformations that actually transform what you have absorbed in a very profound fashion to make it compatible with your tissues and to make it easy then for your tissues to use. And subsequently, the nourishment going out into the tissues is met by 7 different fires. And these fires will transform this nourishment into you. Now, all these processes of digestion and metabolism that transform food into nourishment and then subsequently into your very tissues and your physical structure, all these fires are working in the direction of creating your tissues and giving you the energy that you use to run your life. That's one direction. There's another direction that these can operate in, and they tend to do so and flick into this other operation more in at nighttime. So at nighttime, when you stop the onslaught of food that's attacking your tissues to be processed, and you're giving your body a little rest from all that digesting, it allows the body then to reverse the processes of transformation. And in this case, the body starts to clean up its act. It starts to remove what debris has gathered through the day, or what damage has been done starts to be healed. And these are all the agonies again: healing and removing toxins and moving them out of the cells, out of the tissues, into the lymph channels, and then into the bloodstream and back to the liver to be processed. And the reprocessing in the liver allows those toxins then to be released in the bile. And also those transformed chemicals now are able to be eliminated by the kidneys. So the liver can put them back in the bloodstream to be picked up by the kidneys and also by the skin. And we clear these toxins by pooing and peeing the next morning, and subsequently through our perspiration. So this is a normal process of clearing toxins that we tend to do from day to day. But even with all of that, over time, we gather more toxins than we can clear. And this is the process of aging. And this, can be the result of maybe we're under stress, or maybe our routine is thrown, or maybe our digestion is disturbed. And these insults can allow an extra accumulation of toxins, more than that we are been clearing. And so there came a natural time of the year for an extra detox process. And that's why this time, because this time is kapha season, and it's coming towards the end of kapha season, and kapha is much more our structure. And so the kapha becomes more mobile, as it were, at this phase of the year. And so that means that the toxins become more mobile as well, and more easy to process and eliminate. And so that's why, particularly at this time of the year, just sufficient just to do the extra fasting and do the extra resting along with it, and the cleansing can naturally happen in all levels. So it is interesting what the research shows, that if we drop our food intake for 5 days just to about 800 to 1,000 calories, it's as effective as a total starvation. It's as effective as a total starvation in terms of the benefits we can get from a fast. So what then naturally happens is that we're not actually giving the body quite enough for its needs. So it is forced to fall back on its own stores, if you like, and its own material. So the body goes into autophagy. Worth a day, 2 days, the body starts to devour itself at this level of a fast. And what that means is the body will break down and take out what is, specifically, it will start with what is useless, with what is already broken, with what is already distorted or disturbed. And so it targets the dysfunctional parts of the cells and the tissues and starts to break them down. And this is quite incredible, because what it's doing is it's getting rid of the rubbish. But in the process of breaking it down, it'll extract all those little amino acids and all those good little fats and any minerals. And whatever is good, it's like a good scrapyard, It's actually holding on to the good bits for reuse. So this autophagy then releases for the body, material that it can then use to rebuild healthy tissues, while at the same time having processed the disturbed parts, it can clear out the rubbish element of them. And so this is one physiological consequence of our fasting, is this breakdown of old tissues and the use of whatever is useful to rebuild. But it's also at this time that we start another process, and this is our stem cells. These are cells in the body that are capable of producing all new cells. And they somehow or another get kicked into action now. And as the fast goes on, and when we start to re-nourish ourselves afterwards, we really start to feed and nourish these stem cells, which produce new, vibrant, young, healthy cells. So the detox has not only started to clear the toxins, a process that can continue more effectively afterwards. It has also kickstarted the renewal process of the stem cells generating young, vibrant new cells to replace the rubbish cells that were broken down. And so that's why afterwards you can feel quite renewed by this process. And that's why afterwards we not only insist that you have a really good diet, but we recommend Rasayana products, which are products, herbals that are specifically nourishing for this renewal phase. The cells of your body are bathed by lymph, you know, and when the cells clear their rubbish, they extrude it into this fluid around the cells, and there are then lymph channels which carry away this rubbish. And that then eventually gets from the lymph system to the blood system. So this is like our sewage system clearing the rubbish. And the unfortunate thing is that when toxins gather, they block these fine channels. These fine channels are called shrotas in Ayurveda, and they get blocked with what Ayurveda calls ama, the toxins. And so this is also why we use these herbs, these herbals, as part of the detox. Specifically, the herbal on the there are 3 days, whether it's 2, 4, 6, or 1, 3, 5, I can't remember. In your schedule, you'll see that you take a powder in mid-morning, and this herbal is absolutely brilliant for clearing these fine channels, shifting the ama, unblocking the sewage system, the pipes which were beginning to get bunged. And then the other herbals that are integrated into this detox will be working to support the liver. The liver is the biggest organ in your body, and it's quite massive because it is huge and varied in its functions. Many of its functions are sorting out the anything that is toxic to our system. And so there's herbs there that will support the liver and its functions, and then other herbs to support the kidneys, and other herbs to support the agnes in their processes of clearing the toxins out of the cells. And then there's herbals to help the elimination. So we're helping elimination through bowel, through waterworks, and through skin. The herbal powder is also very useful for perspiring and getting rid of toxins through the skin. So it's a very well thought out structure of herbal preparations to support the processes of the detox. And Rajwinder, being the expert on the foods again, has all these detox recipes. These foods like the khichdi and the dal soups are renowned in Ayurveda for supporting processes of detox. So your detox is supported through the herbs, through the foods, through your restfulness, and through your meditations. And all of that package is there for you to use. It's in writing, And you should read it, and you should read it again and read it again, because if you don't read it, we're going to end up answering the same blooming old questions for the 10th time, whereas all the answers are probably in the handout you have, which we're suggesting you read and reread. And you should read it now so that you prepare for the start of your detox in a few days' times, and you get everything in the house that you need so that you're ready to go, and that you're clear about what you're doing, and that you've asked your questions on WhatsApp from tomorrow, because that's there to support you. So maybe I'll hand over to Raj, and she'll talk a little bit more about we're there to support you and what you're doing in the days.
I think you all are expert probably at this stage. There are a few people new, so you will be well supported by the group anyway. But don't worry, all the instructions are there. Go through your notes now, and 2-3 days beforehand, start cleaning your diet so that you're not struggling too much with the food during the detox. So that get used to eating less anyway, and the structure, how to take the tablets. There is a little chart at the end of your notes, and go through that. It tell you, because the day one the tablets are less and then the tablets increase, so make yourself familiar with the tablets. And yeah, so most probably that's the main questions, when to take what tablet. This was the most common one the last time, so hopefully it's all clear. There's nothing so far in the chat regarding that. And the powder, I don't want to scare, that might be a little bit challenge to take. It's a bitter one, but it's brilliant for liver and all the lymphatic tissues. And make sure, hopefully you have gone through the shopping list and you have all the food that is necessarily during the detox, so keep that with you. If you like, I will. I think Noel is going to announce probably some discounts on the resinas to take after. So make sure you order that on time as well, so that you have your stuff to take after the detox. So you won't be waiting for delivery and all that. So that are the main things really. So any problem about food or anything, and you are told, I think by your Vaija, if you're okay with the calorie restriction or moderate diet. So people above 60 are doing this, so I have it cleared. So you follow just what you're told with the diet wise. Okay, and yeah, that's the main thing. Have your stock ready, make yourself familiar what to do so that you're not panicking, and the rest we are there to support you anyway. So most common issue was the constipation, so that's why we have changed some. You're gonna see the change there, so hopefully that won't be a big one. So hydrate, rest, and as Dr. Brennan said, meditate and take it easy really, because you might be detoxing a lot of emotions, a lot of different things. So just keep yourself like less occupied with work and things like that.
That was wonderful, Raj, because also you brought out the significance of remaining hydrated and
Mm.
taking plenty of fluids, which,
Mm.
I had slipped altogether, but very practical as usual.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so it's easy. We have made it a bit more easier for you. You don't have to boil the seeds and worry about how much tea and all that. So it's all your lovely tea bag now. So that should not be a bit of too difficult. So you have 1 liter of that, as much as you can take. But we have recommended, I think, 750 ml, but you can go up to 1 liter and plus another half a liter, so your normal water. So it's warm food. Everything is warm. That's the only thing. Nothing is raw. As much as warm cooked food, warm water, and that's what is recommended. If some of you are brave enough, even take a break from all of your technology, that will be brilliant as well. So you do a little technology detox as well while you're doing the physiology detox. So that's a mind break for your mind as well. So take a good use of this week, and well, all the best wishes. So any question you can throw now, we can.
Yeah, there's a very good question there, and a very important question from George. Um, and he's concerned about the mention for lymph, because probably not the only person who has had radiotherapy for lymph glands and that, and wondering about the herbal powders. But that's a situation where there was AMA in the lymph glands, and it was a pretty desperate sort of an ama too, which the radiation has taken care of, thank God. But the herbs are very healing. It's not that they will stimulate a spread of a potential problem. It's that they break down the ama and allow it to be shifted naturally to the organs of detox to be cleared. So it's like the weakness in the lymph system would be more nourished and strengthened rather than anything else. So that won't be a problem for you. So relax on that one. And yes, great, Jean Pierre, your wife doesn't do TM. Whatever she enjoys doing, so long as it's restful, whether it's listening to music or sitting in her garden or doing a little bit of mindfulness or whatever, then let her go for that. Whatever she enjoys, that is soothing and restful for her. And um, great, Dolly, you have Amricalash MA4. That will be wonderful to use after the detox. And I think we have a few also suggested in the book. Um, and we'll probably be talking a bit more about Ricinus as we come towards the end. And um, you're working next week from 8:30 to 3:30. Should I go for diet one or two? Dolly, if you're if you're up to 60 years old and you're young and healthy, you can easily go for the more strict diet. Just bring a flask with the nourishing lunch, and it shouldn't be a problem. If you're more elder or more delicate, then go for the easier diet. But yeah, that easier diet, you can easily handle your work for next week while doing it. And just get to bed early. And when you come back from work, if you're a bit tired, take a 10-minute lie down. It's easy enough, you know.
Yeah, also, if you're trying to balance kapha, or if you don't have too much kapha in you, you're more towards vata, then you follow the moderate. But if you think you are kapha, then you try to be a bit more reflective because you do want to balance the kapha.
Um, and Ausra is asking what's in the various tablets. You know, I mean, if you just took the one that you take in the 11 o'clock, there's about 40 different, you know, herbs in it. So where do we start? Um, so it's this great wisdom of Ayurveda to know the overall effect of the whole combination, the synchronicities of the herbs for particular purposes. And so one of the herbs will be that one particularly to help the removal from the fine channels of the toxins. Another herbal comes and it's to help the agnes in our tissues to process and remove the toxins. Another herb comes that helps the liver, that takes all of this and process it for elimination. And another herbal there is to help the kidneys in their removal of these toxins, and another herb to help the elimination at night, the elimination first thing in the morning, the bowel motion. Um, now, whereas we're talking so much about eliminating toxins, we have poor Rhiannon slight worried because she's working all next week, and she wants to know, does the elimination work gently? And you can be relaxed. It do work gently. In fact, on the fast, what tends to happen more for people is that because they're not having as much fiber and substance in their diet, they have less to pass. And then they start not going and they think it's a problem. But it's not a problem because it's not constipation in the normal sense. It's that there's nothing to pass. But people do get worried about it. So we do like, therefore, to include herbs that help the elimination to keep going, just so that you're more relaxed about it, basically. But it's not going to be a problem of excess. If it is, just let us know if you're eliminating more than normal, and we can just adjust herbals with you. That's what the WhatsApp is there for. That's why we will meet another 2 times in WhatsApp in these seminars, that you can have the opportunity to ask your questions. Can I shift from strict diet to gentle diet if not hungry? Well, if you're not hungry, why would you shift to a bigger diet?
No, she corrected herself. I
Oh,
think
did
she
she?
meant
Oh, did
hungry. Yeah.
if she, well, like you know, last week, last year, Rajvinder had a great laugh on this one because people were so worried about being hungry. My God, I might be hungry, and hunger is a good thing. You know, the half-starved animals live a third as long again, so we could all do with a bit more hunger, let me assure you. so, so, um, you know, try and put up with it. And if it becomes too much for you, have a little lemon and honey and warm water between the meals, because that satisfies. And
Dolly is the one who will be working as well.
okay, yeah, well then, Rajvinter, you advised, like you were very good at this last year, what to do in that situation when you were, you know, working, hungry, what
It
to
will
do.
be actually very easy. If you're working, you'll be distracted, Dolly. So if you looking at you, I'm trying to picture out what you'll be. You do look a bit of a kappa in you as well. And if there is weight, then you try to go the little bit strict. But if weight is not a problem and sinus and all that is not an issue, then you just go with the gentle diet anyway. So then you stick with the gentles because gentle is light enough as well. So, but a little bit hunger is no problem. When you talk to people, I do the consultation, I'll ask them, do you feel hungry for food? And normally the answer, I don't let them myself to be hungry. So it means I eat so much food that I don't let myself. So there is a fear of being hungry. And it's nothing wrong, as Dr. Brennan said. We should have a feeling that, oh, I'm hungry, I'm looking forward to my food. And that's when you digest food better, and that's when you absorb food better. Because if you're eating food all the time, your liver, your whole system is stuffed and it's just get no chance. Like you enjoy a little holiday from your work, so the stomach enjoy a little holiday from food as well. So hunger is actually it's a good thing. That means your digestion is working. So that's a signal, and that's what I want all of you to experience during the detox. So I can't wait to have my dinner, even though it will be a small little soup or dal, and you'll see the fun on the group that they'll be looking forward to their dal or khichdi or soup. Yeah, so don't worry about that. That's why you have the herbal tea, and as Dr. Brennan said, put a honey or just sip herbal tea. Sometimes it's the habit that the hunger comes up on a day, like in the nighttime, people sit in front of TV and eat popcorns and things, and you ask them, "Are you hungry?" No, normally it's a habit. So a little herbal tea or warm water is enough to let that pass.
And it's really good because you reset
Yeah.
your whole appetite by, you know, discovering your hunger over the couple of days, and then that helps you to be guided by your hunger after the detox and to make better choices about eating. So see it as one of the potential benefits. um
Yeah, it's just
and
the strong waters. They just go gentle anyway. If you're very strong water, you just go gentle. Don't go with the strict diet anyway.
lovely, lovely. um and Rosalind's body is a strong pitta, and that's lovely. She's wondering about taking the lemon and honey drinks. Well, what I would say is it's so cleansing, and the purpose of the honey will be to take the cleansing effect of the lemon quite deep into the tissues. Um, and it also gives you that slow release of sugars from a good quality honey, which keeps your energy going all morning and keeps you feeling, you know, content. So it's so good. I would suggest do it, but perhaps you might have a little bit less honey than maybe I would. I love it. But so but do the lemon honey. I don't think it's going to increase your pitta that much, and it's still not the pitta season, so I think it'll be fine for you to do it. And I wouldn't bother with your vitamins over the week. to be honest, because I think that'll be sort of wasted when your body's more going to clear out these things. And they're very concentrated and a little bit of hard work for your digestive system, whereas we'd like to free up the digestive system. But if you're taking medicines, take your medicines. And George swims every morning for 45 minutes. Brilliant, George. I don't think I would stop you because your system is so used to it. Just make sure that it's not tiring to you and that you're anyway getting a little extra rest. But the exercise is a way of moving toxins as well. And so long as you're so used to it, I think I would not want you to stop it. But would you disagree, Raj, or how do
No,
you?
no, it's fine. It's a different detox from the autumn one. So in that one, I think we will restrict it, the swimming. But for this one, it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's okay to move, as Dr. Brennan says. Yeah.
And I think Jean Pierre, please take your lutein pill. You know, that's a different situation of a medical indication. So we stick with it. It's important. Anything a vegan can substitute for honey, please. Jaggery, maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because
Ellen
Deidre
Brack,
has,
what was that?
she's a bit of pitta as well, so maple syrup would be a better option for her.
Okay, lovely, lovely. And Ellen Bracken is into a few grapes. Um, Elaine, if you're looking at the two diets and you're going to go for the lighter diet, it's very simple because you see the recipes and you see what you're eating in terms of calories in the day. And then, like, you're not going to be up to 1,000 calories, maybe. Yeah, then the grapes are just part of your um, so a few grapes, fine, and especially like if you get overly hungry and can't last, a few grapes.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
Um, and your strong pitta normally avoid ginger cloves. Is it okay to include in the recipe? It is okay. You know when you get sick with the flu or the fever, yeah, what's your body doing? It's really that whatever the virus, whatever it is, your body is now trying to remove it. It's trying to to do battle. So it increases your temperature and you get a fever. And this process helps you to handle the virus and then to um, do battle, to defeat it, and to eliminate it. So in this situation, we're using the hot spices and they will be detoxing. They will have that influence of increasing the agony, the fire of transformation to help the breakdown of the toxins. So, it's only for 5 days. Listen, you're not going to go way out of balance through taking a little extra ginger for 5 days. Don't worry about it. Take it, I would suggest. Wow. Jean Pierre, you're always very interesting. you you always come up with the good questions, don't you? I do bike 30 kilometers to my volunteer work almost every day. Can I still do this week? Note 30 kilometers total. Thanks for that. Again, Jean Pierre, I mean, you sound very fit and strong. And if it's not tiring for you and you actually take extra rest, then I would say, okay, what do you think, Raj?
Yeah, yeah. He did the
Would
detox before as well, so
you did, so his body's used.
and make sure it's not some kind of adrenaline thing where it's just, oh yeah, it's electrical bike. Okay, then it should be fine.
Ah, great. And
Yeah.
also, Jean-Pierre, I mean, if you do your oil massage, then you'll balance your vata, and that will prevent your vata getting increased by exercise or whatever. So, so
I think that's it.
It looks like people are running out of questions, which means they actually read the document.
Yay, that's great.
It took
Finally.
us it took us well over an hour last year. This year we're getting away with three quarters of an hour.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think probably the experience from the last year. A lot of them are
yeah,
experienced.
and that is interesting as well because it's like an exercise. It was absolutely new to your system last year, and this
Yeah.
year, I think you will find it a lot easier. And if people are new and trying it out, don't be overly concerned if you get a little bit emotional day three or two or three, or you get a little bit achy or stiffy or headachy.
Mm.
These are minor things that are just indicative of the toxins shifting in your body. But
Mm.
you see, initially your liver is taken slightly by surprise because it's set up to do the job it normally does, and suddenly you've visited upon it a huge increase in the workload, and it takes that day or two for the epigenetics, for the information to feed back into the DNA, and the DNA to start kickstarting the production of all the enzymes that it needs to do the clearing. So after the 2 or 3 days, when the liver catches up, it goes, and then you feel quite good. So, but I think for people who've been through the process before, their liver's copped onto them now, you see. And so as soon as the liver sees what they're at, it'll ramp up pretty quick. And I think there won't be the discomforts of last. And some people get a fierce headache and they blame it on us. We did it. But they don't think about all the cups of coffee they've just stopped taking and getting the rebound headache then. So you better just wean down off your coffee for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay, great, Dolly. Now, hear what Dolly says. I read the document. It had all the information. So,
Great.
so we will be doing another seminar to just see how you're getting along and give you the opportunity to ask the questions online. And so that is on Monday at 7:30. So that'll be when you've got going on the detox, and then um, there will be another final one, which unfortunately, Raj, I might not be able to make, but it
Okay.
will be on the Sunday, um, the 24th, and that one is like after you finished, to make
Mm-hmm.
sure all is well and to advise on where you go from there.
We can change the date, should we?
The Saturday and the Sunday would be difficult for me. The
Can do 25th.
we could do, yeah, yeah. Would you prefer to
Just,
do that? Yeah.
yeah, it's good you'll be there and everybody can give the feedback.
Um, 7:30.
Because
Seven.
that's
The
after the detox anyway.
Yeah. Post detox webinar.
Mm-hmm.
So um, those are the webinars. So we'll have two more sessions together. The other is the WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp is something that you can just check in on, and something to ask your questions to Raj and myself and Noel through. We'll all just keep an eye on it every now and again.
Yeah.
And and the third thing is you have our addresses, our email addresses, in the booklet. And if you have a direct question you want to ask one of us, just send us an email.
Yeah. So there are one or two more questions, I think.
Okay.
One lady had diarrhea and like a stomach bug, and what? How many days left now? So
Um,
we are starting on the 18th, right? So she has another 4 days. Mm,
um, she's another 4 days for her gut to get over it. Stomach
so
bug Saturday. only able to toast in chicken broth. Yes, if you have a stomach bug,
Mm.
just be very careful and listen to your appetite and eat very, very lightly. And you're wise to go for soups more at the moment until your appetite comes up. And then you stick to cooked and hot um, vegetables and grains like maybe rice or quinoa and um, a pulse dal. That would be the next best thing.
But if
What? Pardon, right?
yeah, but if I say she still didn't feel, we have few ladies starting on the 9th of May. She can join them.
If
Yeah,
she's not fully over this, yeah,
yeah,
because if she's to eat too lightly for the next 4 days and then starts into a fast, it might be
mm.
hard for her
Might
system.
be hard for her Vata. Probably
Yeah,
already is a bit off. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So Miriam,
So
you can do it a little bit later, and if the 9th of May doesn't suit you, maybe you can, be in touch with one of us, and
or
we'll
join
just
in between maybe.
yeah.
Wait for another. You have 4 days anyway, so see how you are by Sunday. And if you're still feeling weak and not kind of feeling you want to do the detox, I say you wait until another 3-day join in between, or wait until 9th of May. Then that's the next, yeah, run full moon again.
But Miriam, I would suggest you click into the WhatsApp and see the questions that people are asking and click
Yeah,
into the webinars so that even if you do it a week later, you're totally armed with all the experience of the group.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then like you can be in email contact with us if you have a question at that stage. Rosalind, hiya. Is it okay to take a hot shower instead of a bath, or better to take turns in our one bath? Well, I'd suggest you take turns, definitely. But the hot bath, you could phase it through the day. You could one does in the afternoon, one does the early evening, another did that. The hot bath will be better if you can do it, because the idea is perspiring is a way of clearing toxins. And when Ayurveda, you work up to perspiration, but your head is out of the bath, and when your forehead is really perspiring, it's enough. You don't need to stay in there, because staying in too long can throw your pitta out and weaken you, and you feel dizzy and all of that. So you're just working up a good perspiration, and that's why the bath is very, very useful. Otherwise, have a real hot shower and go to bed with 2 or 3 hot water bottles.
Yeah. There'll be yoga class. Yeah, I will try to put in yoga class. I'm not sure what day, so probably be, I don't know if we can do during detox or after detox. We will announce that in the WhatsApp group. You will get an email about it. And the the webinar link will be separate all the time. So you will get email like you got the email for today's link. So that's how I think the link will be different. You'll be receiving email from Noel anyway. And can you repeat the dates again, Dr. Brannon? It is one of
The
the.
18th, we start on the 18th, so we'll just check in that night with
Mm-hmm.
everybody, and people will get a link on the day. Noel sends out the link on the day for the webinars. The same then, we'll have the following Monday night a webinar for just checking how everybody has
So
gone.
it's 18th and 25th.
Exactly, yeah.
So what about the 20th? Is there not the one in between? Or I
Oh,
have that
you're
wrong?
absolutely on the ball.
Yeah.
I've so much written in my diary I couldn't see it. You're right.
So 18th, 20th, and 25th.
Yeah.
Three
Three. Yeah.
calls.
Yeah. Um, and yes, if we put you on reduced doses for things last year, then stay with last year's strategy, because we did that for a purpose last year. It hasn't changed, so I would stay with the last year's dosage for that question that's come directly to me. And um, uh, can you repeat the dates again? Great, you've done that, Raj. You're ahead of me. Is there
Yeah.
another detox week happening? Is there another detox week happening?
Not sure yet if it'll be like a full like the week like this one, because it depends on if the number picks up. For this one, I think it's 107 people. So some of them, 3 or 4 ladies will be doing on the 9th. Just I'll be supervising them, but it won't be a full week like this one. If your husband wants to join the ladies, yeah, of course he can do that. So what he can do, he can join. You are joining this WhatsApp group anyway, so you can feed all the information towards him, so he can join with the other ladies. But there won't be any webinars or any calls or anything like that. So that will be just like a, if you need any help or anything. The 9th of May is the date.
Okay, Raj, we got through it, and we managed without Noel.
Yeah.
He'll be
He's
very
somewhere
disappointed.
on the mountains in Mexico, so probably
Yeah,
he
yeah.
he get us working and he's enjoying.
Yes, yes. We should insist that he does the fast while he's up there.
Yeah, great. So yeah, I think there are no more questions coming, so we can let everybody get along with the evening, go to bed early. So yeah, during detox, go to bed early, no late nights, and then take it easy. Really, I'd say that again and again. So take it easy if it's possible. Take 1 or 2 days of rest in between as well, the working people. So, and it'll be good fun. You'll try through this, and you'll be so happy afterwards. So the benefits are great. Like we hear so much from people last year as well, and hopefully it's the same for this year as well.
I think it's so wonderful to be so in tune with the natural laws that at this time we do this thing. And, it is really rejuvenating, which is the purpose. So that it's like spring, then you're bursting out with new stem cells, creating new um, energized cells. So I think it's really nice what you're doing. And like a purpose of talking a couple of days ahead is just to get your head orientated that you now look at your book and get yourself thinking forward how you're going to prepare your recipes, are you going to use the flask for your lunch and for the evening meal, and have you got everything you need. And so now just tomorrow have a good look at the preview and get sorted so you're ready to go after Easter, because definitely on Easter Sunday you're not going to be thinking about fasting, I know that. So think now.
And don't stuff the chocolates beforehand.
No, we're going to have an awful lot of detoxing this year. I heard on the radio there are Easter eggs for sale in Ireland for €70. So don't go there.
Oh God, I think they're poison. They're huge.
Ah, full of
Yeah,
sugar. Yeah.
too much, too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully no one's husband is baking. Last time one of the ladies' husband was making all the lovely Easter cakes and
Oh
things.
yeah, last year. Do you remember that? She was
Yeah,
driven to distraction with the
her
cooking going
name.
on in the house. She fasted. But she stuck with it.
Yeah, no, she was great. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, good. Okay then.
Okay, well, we'll say we leave you, love you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank
God
you.
bless.
Appreciate that. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Good
Bye,
night.
Grania.
Lovely evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.